What does a red weather warning mean in practice then, Jim?
Well, in practice, it's a danger to life. It's the top one. We haven't had a red warning since Storm Dennis in February 2020. So they're quite unusual, well, almost exceptional warnings and top grade stuff. So yeah, you've really got to pay attention to that. Isn't to say you shouldn't pay attention to ambers and yellows as well. The warnings are there for good reason. They're put out there by professionals, and yeah, you should heed them. That's the first side of making sure you do the right thing is to heed the warnings.
And which parts of Scotland are likely to be worst affected? And presumably it's still going to have an impact, although not quite as bad in other parts of the UK.
Yeah, you're dead right with that second bit. It's not just going to be that southeast part of Scotland, sort of Aberdeen down to Angus. I even think down into Lothian, so the Grampian area per se. But look, the Storm Babet, which is basically going to be sitting over the UK, give or take over the next 48 hours, is going to bring some quite hazardous weather to many places, in actual fact, particularly tomorrow. England as well, eastern areas. There's going to be an easterly wind coming off the North Sea. That's like generating the conveyor belt of rain into that sort of southeast quadrant of Scotland. So that's the rain there is just going to simply pile up, and not just the rain, but wind with it. So it's a real awful mixture of weather, and yeah, swollen rivers. It's one of those situations where things will just accumulate over time, and you've just got to watch your back, particularly if you're living in and around or work or going to move in and around river areas, because some of that will overflow for sure. But as I say, wider across the UK, it's still going to be very unsettled. So you're going to have to watch out for very sharp showers, thundery showers, the winds as well, particularly the northeast coast, but down through the east coast of England. So, yeah, very unsavoury.
So what's the best advice, Jim, for anyone in the path of the storm?
Okay, so I've said heed the warnings. The next one to say is keep tuned in. Make sure you keep yourself up to date. It's a moving feast. Weather doesn't sit still. So you could be okay at 1 minute, walk out your front door and think, oh, this isn't so bad like at the moment in many parts of southern England, Midland England, East Anglia. There's not much going on. You think, oh, it's all over. It hasn't even started. The next thing is this. This is a big one for me. I say, don't fight Mother Nature, because if you do, 9 times out of 10 you'll lose. You think you can drive your car through this sort of deep sort of valley of water that's accumulated, and all of a sudden you get stuck in it. We've seen cars floating away time after time in these sort of situations. So I use common sense. Really use your common sense, as in, okay, so the you see the water, you wake up and it's started to inundate your house at the lower floor, for example. You might want to turn your electric off. People do become a casualty with the electric left on, and then they touch the water, and hey, presto, is an electrocution. So you just got to use your common sense in these things. Do what comes. I say naturally. Most of the time, it does come naturally what to do and how to do it. Call emergency services if you need to. These situations when you get amber and red in particular, they are absolutely worth doing the right thing, making sure that you're planning correctly. If, for example, you live near a river area and you know that there's a threat of that overflowing, then it wouldn't be the wrong thing to do to say, okay, for this sort of 2 or 3 days, maybe I'll take myself away, go somewhere that's a little bit safer, if I can use that terminology. So yeah, common sense is a big one, but everything that I've mentioned, apart from in terms of heeding warnings, keeping tuned in, and not fighting Mother Nature, not thinking you can beat it, because you probably won't, are the things to do.